All right, everybody, we have just maxed out our callers on this call today. I'm super excited. I'm going to just put it on interactive mode for just a second. And when I ask a question, if you guys think this is a good idea, I just want you guys to just scream out loud, say yes. Just make sure that I know you guys are listening. So the question is, how many of you guys want to learn how to easily earn $500 or more per hour cold calling prospects using the Mojo Sales Dialer? If that's you, say yes at the top of the
Yes.
Yeah. I love it. So the other question I'm going to ask, and see, I come from the place that whatever I'm going to do, I'm going to have a lot of freaking fun doing it, okay? So how many of you guys want to have a lot of fun today? Say yes. Excellent, guys. I can totally feel the energy today. My name is Colton, Lindsay, and I'm a real estate agent just like you guys. And I want to welcome you to another training hosted by my friends over at Mojo Sales. I know some of you guys have Mojo and some of you don't. That's totally fine. I use it in my business, and I couldn't survive in real estate without it. And I even know the top producing agents and mega teams across the country have it in their portfolio as well as a major tool. So I want to take a second and thank just them for holding these training seminars and allowing me to give back to my real estate community, because they are the best tool on the freaking planet. And also I want to say thanks to Fearless Agent for teaching me the foundation of my real estate sales business and where I am today. On this call today, I'm going to share with you how easily I have built and am continually building my business using the Fearless Agent sales training mixed with the Mojo Sales Dialer, and I'm doing it through cold call prospecting. And I say build because I am still building. I haven't stopped building. I'm building an empire, and that's what's great about this opportunity and the future of real estate and the way technology is going. So how many of you guys want to make a lot of money from lead generating on Mojo? Press *2 and raise your hand so I know you're listening to me as we're going. Awesome. I see the hands going up. You know what's kind of funny? I mentioned this earlier. I usually see about 50% of you press *2 to raise your hand, and it makes me wonder if like the other 50% is just not listening, or if their phone's broken or something. I'm never sure what that's all about. So I get it too, guys. I get how life is. It's busy. We have stuff to deal with. We have calls to make, errands to run, people to see. I mean it. I mean, it's busy, right? We have follow-ups to deal. We got deals on fire. We got kids to run around, and simply just crap to deal with and get done in life. True or true? So if you're listening to this training today, whether it's live or you get the recorded version, I want you to go ahead right now, and I want you to give yourself a high five and congratulate yourself while you're at it. Because if you can carve out some time to focus and learn and educate yourself and becoming a better skilled salesperson and a business owner, you're going to be 95% ahead of the competition, hands down. Okay, so how many of you guys want to get the most out of today's call and just take something from today and put it in your business? Press *2 and raise your hand. Awesome. I love seeing the hands come up. That tells me you're interacting with us. Here's what we need to do then to get the most out of this call right now, okay, is you got to turn everything else off. Turn off your email, turn off your text message, your Instagram, your Snapchat. Give yourself 100% right here. The only thing I want you to do if you're going to send something on Facebook is tag me in it and tag this call in it and let everyone know that you're learning today. Everything else, shut it off, okay? Number 2 agreement is this. You got to participate. The best way to learn, the best way to grow is you got to participate. Fair enough? And then the 3rd agreement I need from you guys is everyone willing to play full out and play to level 10. So let me kind of set the stage for you and what that looks like. Listen, this is what participation looks like. Are you ready? When I ask you a question, answer it out loud. I don't care if you're sitting in your office or driving down your car or if someone's sitting right next to you at Panera eating a bagel or whatever. Answer out loud. Get interactive with this, okay? Number 2 is when we do a written exercise, write it out. Have a notepad in front of you. Have a pen in your hand and write it out. You're going to get much more out of this. And let me explain a little bit as well, and I explained it up front, how we can be interactive. If you're on the web call, you can press the raise the hand button. Okay, that's how you can get it interactive, is pushing the raise the hand button. If you're on the phone call, if you dialed in, press *2. Okay, that's how you can raise your hand and get interactive. If you're on a webcast, I'm sorry, guys, you're just going to have to raise your hand. I'm just going to have to not see it. That's just, you got on late, you missed the call site, but you do get the webcast. Okay, so get used to using those buttons. I want to do a test real quick. Okay, press *2 and raise your hand. Press the raise your hand button on the web call. I see a lot of you guys learning it. Awesome. I just want to make sure we all know how to use that button. It's going to be important. And during this call, I'm going to ask for volunteers today, so that what I'm going to do is when we have people raising their hand, I'm going to know who the volunteers are. I'm going to know who the winners are. I'm going to know who wants to play full out today, okay? So how do we play full out? That's the next question. And I want you to write this down. How you do anything is how you do everything. How you're playing right now on this call, that's how you're going to play in your business. How you play right now on this call, that's how you're going to play at home with your family. It's going to how you play with managing your money. It's going to be how you play your whole life. So if you want to play to win, play to win. If you don't, if you want to be mediocre, that's the enemy to winning. That's the enemy to greatness, okay? So imagine participating on a scale of 1 to 10. A 10 is you just crush it. You're raising your hand, you're pressing *2, you're pressing the raise your hand button, and you're giving it everything you've got to be the best you can be. That's a 1. That's a 10. And a 1 is you just hate life. You hate participating. You want to be stuck in the back. You want to do it your own way. You want to do it the way that's not getting you the results that you want. Okay, that's a 1. That's the fuddy-duddy. So be a 10 and be clear that your own way has tripped you up your whole life. And that's every one of us. Every one of us probably learned how to do it the wrong way. And that's okay, because that's why you're here. You're here to learn how to do it a better way, to have more success. So I need a commitment from everyone right now. Press *2 and raise your hand if you guys agree to play full out and to participate. I got to see who's willing to play today. Awesome. I'm seeing the hands go up. Awesome. Cool, guys. I appreciate you guys wanting to play full out, and it means a lot to me. So real quick, is it okay if I just kind of share with you where I'm coming from? I got into this business in 2005. I had got home from a Mormon mission after walking cobblestone roads in southern Brazil for 2 years. Okay, you guys want to talk about prospecting? Prospecting where you had to go knock doors every day selling the Word of God. That's prospecting, guys. And there I met people that literally had nothing, yet they made the best of whatever they had. Soon after I got home, I started my real estate school after borrowing money from my sister and my parents just to get started. I didn't have any money, so I had to borrow it to even get licensed, like $1,500. I crushed the real estate school. In fact, I was so awesome at it, I failed the real estate exam 3 times. Can anyone else relate to that? They actually failed the real estate exam. So, I was destined for success. I didn't even pass the test. And I am 100% proof. I'm going to write this down. I'm 100% proof that you don't have to be the smartest guy in the world to succeed in real estate sales. But, I finally did it, and this is where my story turns right here from bad to worse, actually. 12 months later, I'm licensed, and I'm number 1. Number 1 at being a complete failure. I managed to sell only a total of 2 houses the first year. One of them, which was my sister, she had to use me, right? And the same one that, she actually let me borrow to get money into the business. She wanted to get her money back or something, I'm guessing. And so, I didn't sell many houses my first year. And then my luck changed. I thank God every single day that I walked into a live event and I met my mentor and future business partner, Mr. Bob Leffler. He's the owner and founder of Fearless Agent. And I walked right up to him after this event. I said, Bob, tell me what to do. And, of course, he said, sign up for Fearless Agent. I'll teach you everything you need to do. By this time, my sister's feeling a little tired of me, but she wanted to borrow me another $1,000, thank goodness. I needed that money so I could get signed up and start learning how to do it, how to be successful in this business. Okay, so I did that. I signed up for Fearless Agent. I got started, and I got going. From there, it just went to history. Over the next 10 years, 11 years later, I would go on to become ranked in the top 1% of my local marketplace. I currently earn $500,000 a year just in my real estate sales business, working only 4 days a week. And in second quarter alone, this second quarter of this year, I worked only 38 days. How many of you guys, by raise of hand, would like to have a business earning $500,000? That's $500,000 a year, working only 38 to 45 days a quarter. I don't know about you guys, but I love it, and I know you guys can do it, okay? So let me just share with you guys some 3 things that I discovered on this journey, and I want you to write this down. I discovered this over time, and it made all the difference for me. Number 1 is develop a positive mental attitude. You have got to have a strong mindset in this business and in life if you're going to build wealth and have success. Okay. Number 2 is I realized I had to be extremely clear on my actions. And even if I wasn't, I still needed to go take massive action. I had to get to work. I had to stop getting ready to get ready, and I had to get to work. Okay. And number 3 is I had to invest in me becoming my very best self. I had to invest time. You know, I had to sacrifice going out with my friends partying and put the time in the books to learn the scripts. I had to sacrifice money in order to pay for the education, and I had to sacrifice emotion along the way. I had to make a choice. I said, you know what? I can either be right or I can be rich. I can either be right or I can be happy. I had to stop trying to prove my way was right, and I had to start opening up my mind to see that there was a better option out there. Okay, so how many of you guys would like to develop a positive attitude? Raise your hand. And also raise your hand if you want to know where to start in creating a massive referral-based business with little to no money invested. Press star 2 if that's you. Awesome, guys. So I'm going to do a little bit of a check-in. I want to check in on the energy, so I'm going to put it on interactive mode. And if you're already feeling the energy, just say yes at the top of your lungs. Are you already feeling the energy, everybody? Okay, my computer just totally froze. Let's try this again. Okay, while we're waiting for that, here's what we're going to go over today. Okay. Number 1 is... Yeah!
Hell yeah.
Awesome, guys. I actually just realized I have so many callers. We have so many callers on this call today. It's kind of slowing down the system. So be patient with me because we're not used to having this many of you guys on here. Okay. Here's what's in it for you today. Number 1 is I'm going to share with you a step-by-step system for cold calling. Number 2 is you're going to find and learn the easiest cold call script on the planet. And by knowing that, that's going to create some clarity. Okay. Number 3 is I'm going to share with you how to convert cold call contacts into referral generating advocates. Okay. A lot of you guys are thinking that you're going to make money off the initial call, and the truth is you're building a database from the initial call. You're not converting it off of the initial call. Okay. Number 4 is I'm going to show you an easy to follow repeatable process for generating leads through cold calling and the system to fill your pipeline with new prospects all year long. Okay. And I want to remind everyone real quick, how you do anything is how you do everything. How many of you want to know where to start creating massive referral-based business with little to no money invested? Raise your hand. Okay. And there's some of you that every time I ask that question, you're not raising your hand. And I want you to pay attention to that because that's how you're playing and that's how your business is right now. And I don't say this to be mean or to be, oh, Colton's a jerk or whatever. I say this to bring it to your awareness. I've been where you're at before. I've been in the trenches. I'm still in the trenches. And I understood I got to get out of my comfort zone. I want you to write this down. This is something I learned a few years ago. In order to increase your money zone, okay, in order to increase your money zone, you've got to increase your comfort zone. You got to get comfortable getting uncomfortable, okay? And I want you to do that today, okay? And I know some of you on this call are whining about how the market's tough, there's so much competition, prospecting sucks, or whatever crappy story you have, it's cool. We all face that at one time or another. I want you to ask yourself this question. Do you want that story to be your life? Or do you want the story to be results? Do you want your story to be $500,000 in real estate sales, in income? Do you want your story to be that you're ranked in the top 1% of your market? Do you want your story to be that you're financially free, that you have more money, you have more success, better relationships, better health? Do you want those results? Then start telling yourself that story. Get the negative stories out of your brain. Write it down, create that vision, get clear on what you want. You become what you think about most of the time. Think about how good it would feel to start making money. You know, be open to the possibility that yes, you can 2x, 3x, or even 10x what you're currently earning if you're willing to learn to do the business just a little bit differently, okay? So real quick, how many of you guys are starting to learn something? We're only in the introduction part. Say yes if that's you.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. Awesome, guys. Yes. I love it. I love that we're maxed out on the call here today, too. I'm just going to get a drink for a second. I'm already so hyped up, I'm starting to get thirsty. All right, guys. So here's the first part. In order to level up, what I found is there's two parts. Number one is you've got to have your ritual. This is how you start your day. So what is a ritual? A ritual is a systematic way of conscious behavior to create a subconscious habitual behavior. So in order to be great at cold calling and using mojo to be great at it, you've got to start believing that ahead of time through your behavior. So what would you say if I told you that you're going to do whatever you're going to do based on what you're conditioned to do, okay? A ritual consists of a set of activities. It's all it is, the set of action that involve things such as prayer, meditation, exercise, or simply just going on a walk, reading a book. It's a place where you can create absolute clarity on what it is you want to create, and specifically what you want to create in your real estate business. Why is that important for you guys? Remember, I shared with you, you become what you think about most of the time. This is no new concept. Thoughts become reality, okay? And this is so true. What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? Get clear on that, and your ritual helps you get conscious in what you're thinking about, okay? So I want to think of it like this. Are any of you gardeners? Raise your hand if you guys like to plant, a garden, whether it's fruits and vegetables or whatever it is. I can see a bunch of you raise your hands up. I didn't used to like even being outside, and then a couple years ago, I got this idea. I wanted to do an activity. I've got two beautiful little girls. If some of you guys follow me on Facebook, and there's actually a link just below on this page where you can add me on Facebook, you'll know I got two beautiful little girls, and I wanted to start something that I could share with them. So we planted a bunch of strawberries. Okay, so we planted all these strawberry seeds, and we wanted to start growing some strawberries. Okay, a few years ago, when we planted these strawberry seeds, they grow the most delicious, most juiciest red strawberries ever. My daughters love them. And what I learned each year is that these strawberries grew more plentiful with more berries. So each year, it cultivated more and more. Do you get that? The better that you can grow your fruits and your vegetables, the better that they grow year after year. So what we all do, we just have to provide sufficient water and nurture along the way to these strawberry plants. But the soil, and this is where the beautiful part is, the soil and the beauty of Mother Nature, they have to do their part. And this is the part that simply you and I have nothing to do with. It's the miracle of creation. Think about this. What do you think the odds are that one morning I'm going to go out and I'm going to pick fruit with my daughters off of these strawberry plants, and we're going to pick a bunch of apples? You think that's going to happen? Yeah, right. It's never going to happen. So this is where we've got to decide what seed we're planting. Yet some of you guys right now, what you're trying to do in your life every day is you're trying to plant strawberry seeds, and you're going to go pick apple fruits off of these strawberry plants. And it's not going to happen. It doesn't work like that. I want everyone to grab a pen right now, because I'm going to ask you a set of questions, okay? And it gets this simple, guys. And this activity is simply for you guys to get aware of where you're at in creating success in your cold calling business. Okay? So number one is, I want you to write this down. What time do you get out of bed? Don't write down what time you want to get out of bed. Just write down what time you're getting out of bed. Okay? That's a pretty easy question. You should have it all written down. Number two is, what personal development books are you currently reading today? What books are you currently reading today? And, for me, guys, I'm reading about 8 books at a time. I know that sounds silly. We've been trained to read like one book from start to finish before we start another. That's the failure, and I say failure, of the public school system. And I don't mean that any disrespect, because I know that there's educators in the school system that truly want our kids to grow. However, the system is set up for failure. It's set up to make you be mediocre and average, okay? So ask yourself, what currently are you reading to develop yourself as a person and a business owner? Okay. Next question. Where am I cheating myself? Where am I cheating myself? Is it in my health? Is it in my prospecting? And I'm willing to bet 90% of you are not doing, or even more. 95% of you you're not prospecting. You're not prospecting enough. Okay? So where are you cheating yourself? Next question. And I want you to write this answer even if you're not doing it. What time do I start my prospecting? What time do I start my prospecting? Every morning. When do I make my first phone call? Okay, next question. What would my ideal time be? And we're going to do a little bit different with this question. What would my ideal time be to start my prospecting calls? If you had it your way, your perfect way, what time would that be every single morning that you get to work? And then the last question I want you to ask yourself, based on some awareness, I want you to just take a few seconds, based on the awareness, what's the action, the one action? I don't want you to come up with 20 actions or 5 actions. I want you to come up with one action. What's the one action you can take right now that will start planting the right seeds to get the fruits that you want? Because your roots determine your fruits in your life and in your sales business. All right? How many of you guys, press star 2, if this is you, how many of you would like to start seeing different results happen in your life immediately? Press star 2, raise your hand if that's you. And I mean that specifically in your sales business, your real estate business. I'm going to let this, because I see a bunch of hands popping up. Like I said, we've got so many callers on this call today, literally my computer is freezing up. Okay, so I asked that question. I want you to share an example with you guys. I asked that question, and 50% of you, again, it does not matter. I can ask these questions over and over again. So I want you to be very aware of that. For those of you that rose your hands and those of you who didn't, I want you to pay attention to this. If you're not raising your hand, you're not playing full out in your life, and that's it. You're not going to change your results. You're not going to get different roots buried in to get different fruits unless you're willing to participate. Okay, so awesome. I need one volunteer, and I'm going to do it based on who rose their hand first here. So it's I don't have the name here. I'm just going to read out the last 4 digits of your phone number, and I'm going to unmute you. So the last 4 digits, they're from Columbia, South Carolina, 3927. 3927. Whose last number is 3927? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Awesome, man. Who do we have on the phone call today?
Richard Pollard.
Richard, thank you for being on the call. I appreciate you playing full out today, and I appreciate you learning with me. So I want to just real quickly go through, did you write your answers down onto those questions?
Yes.
Awesome. So go ahead and share with us what your answers were that you wrote down on those questions. What time do you get out of bed?
Number 1, what time do I get out of bed? Around 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Can I ask, Richard, are you open to some coaching?
Of course.
Awesome, man. I appreciate that. I always want to make sure, because I'm here to support you, okay? I'm here to help you, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The top producers in this business, they're getting out of bed by no later than 5 a.m., okay?
Mm-hmm.
So everyone, look at your answer and compare to where a top producer is. If you want a top producer fruit, which is $500,000, $1 million a year, or even maybe you want 200,000 or 300,000, maybe you just want to hit 6 figures. Look at what time you're getting out of bed and look at what time those people are getting out of bed. If you want the different fruit, you got to change the route. Do you get that, Richard?
Yeah.
Awesome, man. So what personal development books are you currently reading, or what are you doing to develop through books?
Right now, I just finished The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. I'm actually reading a biography on Abraham Lincoln right now, and also a pre-marriage book, because I'm getting married in about 3 weeks.
Congratulations, man! Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Good for you. Yeah, it's the greatest, hardest thing I've ever done is getting married, but it's so worth it, man. Congratulations. So where are you cheating yourself right now?
Getting to bed on time so I can get up at 5 a.m. My alarm clock, my opportunity clock is set at 5 a.m. every morning, and I just battle it every single day.
Yeah. Can I share something with you that I learned a long time ago about that?
Of course.
if you've got to drag yourself out of bed, if you've got to like struggle to get out of bed, it means your goals aren't big enough. Your goals, and I want everyone to listen to this, your goals should be so big that it pulls you out of bed. Your goals should be so big that you're jumping out of bed excited, feet hitting the floor saying, I love my life, that you're ready to get to work. You hear what I'm saying with that, Richard?
Yes. Yep, that makes sense.
You don't need to push. You don't need to push to hit your goal. You need your goal to pull you out. You need your goal to pull you towards it. Awesome. So what time do you start your prospecting? And even if you're not doing it, tell me you're not doing it. Where are you starting your prospecting?
I prospect every morning, and I'm usually starting my first call at anywhere from 9 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. or 9:30 a.m.
Awesome. So can I share with you when the mega producers, what time they're starting their first call?
Yes.
No later than 8 a.m. Okay? No later than 8 a.m. I want you to think about that. Don't quit earlier because you start earlier, but if you had an extra hour a day for 5 days, that's 5 extra hours a week. That's 20 extra hours a month, okay? That's 240 extra hours per year. Do you think that might take you to a next level?
Without a doubt.
Awesome, man. What's your ideal time to start prospecting?
My ideal time is 8:30, but it's now 8 a.m.
Awesome, man. I love that. What's the one action? And I just want you to come up with one action. I don't want you to come up because we always have a lot of things we can do, but the problem is that we never get doing because we have so much. What's one thing you can do to plant the right seed to start moving in that direction?
Before you put me on here was to go to sleep earlier. Now it's to make my goals bigger.
Awesome. Dude, I love that. High five, man. I appreciate you. Is there any questions you have for me so far?
I mean, my biggest thing right now that I'm struggling with, because I just moved to South Carolina from Florida where I've been selling real estate for 5 years, would be, building starting my business here, building a referral base, because I have, I don't have a lot of big sphere of influence yet.
Awesome, man. You can do that completely through cold calling. That's the next part of this training we're going to go into. So let's answer that right now and get into it. All right?
Awesome. Appreciate it. Thanks, Colton.
Hey, thanks, Richard. Yeah, appreciate you. Everyone say thank you, Richard, for participating. Everyone say thank you.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you.
Awesome. So far, I just want to check in by raising your hand. Are you learning something? Is this call that Mojo Sells and Fearless Agent is hosting, is it producing value for you? Raise your hand. Awesome. I just want to make sure, because I want to get feedback from you guys. I want to make sure that, obviously I don't work for Mojo. I use them, but I want to make sure that the value I'm providing for you guys levels up with the type of business that Mojo runs. Because Mojo is such a powerful tool. The fact that they're willing to put this on for you guys today, I don't know any other company that's doing this, that's just creating massive value for you guys for free. And a lot of you guys, you might not even be Mojo's customers. You might not even be a Fearless Agent coaching student, and that's okay. We want to empower and impact this industry, and that's what Fearless Agent Mojo Sells is doing. Okay, so let's get moving on here, guys. And I want to, before I told you guys how we do anything is how we do everything. Okay, so get a clear picture of your ritual in the morning and get your goals bigger to pull you out of bed, to pull you towards it. Get that new seed planted and grow the harvest now, okay? Because until you change, you're not going to change. My grandpa told me this when I was a little kid. I didn't get it till, probably a few years ago. Nothing changes if nothing changes. And that's such a powerful statement, so you've got to make that change. Your roots determine your fruits, okay? So everyone put your hand on your heart. Just for a second, I want you to say out loud, this is part of accelerated learning, okay? Even if you're by yourself, if you're at the coffee shop, you're at the office, and you're others around you, say this with a level 10, I create my own success, okay? I create my own success. Awesome, man. So real quickly, everyone, I want to ask you, check in for your ahas. So press star 2 and raise your hand, and we're just going to go through real quick some ahas and something you've learned so far, okay? Okay, we got, let me see if I can get this unmute button to work here. Adam Jackson, can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
Awesome, Adam. Thank you for being on the call today. Real quick, what's your aha or what you've learned so far?
For me, it's just probably getting started earlier just so I can, be more effective. To be honest, I'm not trying to be the 1% top producer. I just want to find a level of success that I'm really, really happy with, and I definitely want to increase my sales. And, I love cold calling. Most agents don't, but honestly I do, and I'm just trying to get better at it.
Awesome, man. I appreciate that feedback. And one thing that's cool about that, Adam, is that that's part of what you're getting clear on is it's not about being the number one in your office or the top 1%. Each of us have a different drive. It's about getting clear on the life that you want. So I appreciate you being honest with that, and everyone learned from that. Great share, Adam. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
Cool. So, Chris in Laguna Beach, you're on, man. What's your aha? What's your share for us?
Hi, Colton. My aha is that I do get up at 5 a.m., but I don't jump out of bed, and that's because my goals aren't big enough.
Interesting. And you know what's interesting about that? And I know you're not the only one. It's going to come and go. Sometimes you're going to want to jump out of bed, and sometimes you're not. But pay attention to that. When you're not wanting to jump out of bed, it's time to look at the drawing board and get you excited again. Okay?
Right. And this
awesome,
one
man.
more is that I need to be prospecting. My very first phone call needs to be at 8 a.m. sharp, and I think that's going to bring a lot of things into focus.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Hey, great share, man. Thanks for being on the call.
Thank you.
Helping you out today?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, we've got Grego Stormberg. I hope I said that right. Grego Stormberg. Are you
Hello?
there? Awesome. Did
Hello?
I say your name right, or did I mess it? Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me? Okay. It's actually it's actually Amber Stormberg, and I'm not sure why it showed up under my husband's name, Greg.
All right. Well, it's shown as Grego.
He's not Grego.
Amber, thanks for Hey, Amber, thanks for being on. So what's your aha? What have you learned so far?
What I've learned so far is that just mastering the scripts. We have a team here, and we're all doing very well. I do get up early enough. I do get up and actually function at 5 a.m. in the morning. So that's not an issue. It's just mastering the scripts better. So learning how to do that.
You know what? I'm so glad you brought that up. When I first started and I joined Fearless Agent Coaching and Training back in 2006, I actually took my scripts, my FSBO script. That's what I started and got great at first. And I had that thing laminated. That thing was in my freaking shower, and I was memorizing that thing. I was so committed to it, and I'm glad you brought that up. So appreciate you sharing that, Amber. Anything I can do to help you out?
No, just getting great information from you and stuff that, is the obvious, and just putting forth that effort to say we're going to make a commitment to learn the scripts and master the language of real estate.
Amen. Hey, thanks for being on the call today. I appreciate you. So we're going to lower the hands now. We're going to get going into the next part, which is the cold call script. Okay? So what is that? A cold call script is simply a dialogue that allows you to quickly make a connection to get from one point of your call to the next point into your call, and to get the exact words to say. And the Fearless Agent cold call script is so stinking easy, my 4-year-old can do it. Okay? And I want you guys to know this. I've met with some of the top producers, whether they're single agents or mega teams right now. I've learned from these guys that most businesses are now growing more now than ever through cold calling. Through cold calling. The technology is so strong, you can start to section out where's the highest turnover rate, so you're starting to call those people first. A lot of people are actually fading away from FSBOs and expire. I did it myself. I built my business on FSBOs, and I still do them today, but I do way more cold calls than I do for sell by owners. Okay, that's what I want to get clear on, and so are the biggest producers in this industry. So that's why Mojo is so awesome, because it's actually built the tool for the future of real estate. Okay, see, I built the bulk of my business, like I said, on FSBOs, and it paid me quite well for that time. But it was a one-time thing. What I found out was only maybe 33%. Write this down. Maybe only 33% of my for sale by owners ended up going into my referral database because I never wanted to stink and talk to these guys again. They were downright mean and crazy for the most part. They were just nasty people, okay? But through cold calling, you can build a long-term success and results. The truth is, very rarely will you set. I want you to make note of this about cold calling. Very rarely will you set an appointment right off the first contact with a cold call. Does it happen? Absolutely. However, the real money is made when you're able to determine that, yes, this person will one day be moving, and then add them to a marketing system that has two goals. Number one is set the appointment when they're ready to make the move, and number two is get referrals from these people along the way. Let me give you a quick story. I had added a gal to my people farm. That's basically my follow-up. She told me she was going to be moving in about 12 to 18 months. Not super quick, but I added her to my database. This was about 4 years ago. She still has not moved, but she has sent me 2 referrals since then. One of them was her sister. I had written her up on contract in less than 48 hours by the time I got that referral, $8,500 commission. The other one was a friend in the neighborhood that we listed and sold in like 21 days or something. So the moral of this story as well with cold calling, you might not ever do business with that person, but you're trying to identify people, nice, sane people that may be moving one day or are going to send you referrals, okay? See, real estate success comes from a systematic way, okay? Write that down, a systematic way of communicating. That's why Mojo is a powerful tool. It allows you to do it on such a high level. For example, my database right now, it's like a giant funnel from colder leads clear down to hot leads, okay? And I have over 30,000 people in my Mojo database now. The top of the funnel is obviously less lucrative than the bottom of the funnel, and that's how funnels work. If you can imagine a funnel, you're shaking these people down the funnel to find out which ones are ripe and ready for business. That's how it works. That's how every business works, whether you're in real estate, whether you're in the hotel business, whether you're in the Zillow business. I bet some of you guys put a profile up on Zillow, and guess what? You got a phone call from some Zillow rep saying, hey, we got a few zip codes that opened up, and we've got some opportunity to get some leads for you. Zillow actually makes money doing what we should be doing as real estate people. They're cold calling. It's that simple. So there's a myth. The myth is that top producing agents and teams in this world and in this business, they spend a lot of and most of their resources generating internet leads. Some teams do, but generating a marketable database, that's what they really spend their time doing, and they do it through massive cold calling, through something that a lot of you probably heard in Facebook groups called circle prospecting. Raise your hand if you've heard of circle prospecting or cold calling. Okay, that's what the top producers are doing. They're not doing it through online leads. Some people are doing it on online leads, but most people are doing it through cold calling, and you wouldn't even know it. Okay, that's why Mojo is such a powerful tool today, because there's a need for it in our industry. Okay, here's the script, guys. I'm just going to share the first part with you, and then I'm going to actually ask for a volunteer. Okay, so the first part is this. This is simple. You can even write this down. Okay, hi, is John there? Hi, John. This is Colton Lindsay with Fearless Agent Real Estate. Hey, listen, I was just calling to see if you might be thinking of selling your house. No? Okay. That part right there is the basis introduction of this script. And if you didn't hear it, let me repeat it. Hi, is John there? Hi, John. This is Colton Lindsay with Fearless Agent Real Estate. I was just calling to see if you might be thinking of selling your house. That's simple, guys. It is that simple. Press the raise your hand button if you think you could do that. See some hands going up. Pretty simple, right? Awesome. So I want to go through with you then, because guess what they're going to say? When you ask that question, you're going to get either a yes or a no. You're going to get, yes, we're thinking about it, and you might actually spit your coffee out and be like, oh, crap, what do I do now? Or they're going to say no, which is okay, but doesn't mean that you have to end the call. You can ask a few more questions that determine if maybe they are going to be someone you're going to follow up with and add to your people farm and your database, or if it's someone you're not going to follow up with. So I'm going to lower the hands again. Press star 2 for a volunteer. I need someone to volunteer and help me out. Who would like to do that? Awesome. So we've got in Miami, Florida, Torres.
Yes.
Miami, Florida. Who do we got on the phone call?
Michael Torres.
Michael Torres. Michael, thank you for being on call today. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do the cold call script with you, okay? And I want you to remember, cold calling is not like calling a FSBO and expired. They're actually, for the most part, I wouldn't say always, but for the most part, they're pretty nice, and they actually respect that you're doing and building your business and your career, okay? So all we're going to do is I'm going to ask you the question, and I want you to say, yes, we are thinking of moving our house. Can you do that for me? And then I'm going to show you guys the flow of questions to ask if they say yes. Okay? So let's just start. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, is Michael there?
This is him speaking.
Yeah, hi, this is Colton Lindsay with Fearless Agent Real Estate. I was just calling to see if you might be thinking of selling your house.
Actually, yes, I am.
Awesome. Where are you thinking of moving to next?
I'm thinking about moving to Canada.
Canada? Really? What takes you to Canada?
I don't know. I'm just tired of the heat over here. I live here in Miami, Florida, and it's everyone wants to come down here, but I want some cold, so I want to go head over to Canada and experience the cold weather.
Okay, so you want to head to Canada and experience the cold weather. I totally hear you. Experience something different. That's part of life. So let me ask, Michael, when did something crazy like moving to Canada ever happen?
I don't know. I recently got a divorce, and I said, you know what, let me just go nuts and just try something different, and Canada came to my mind.
Okay, so it just barely came to your mind. So, I mean, is that something that would happen in the next 3 months, 6 months, 12 months? When would you maybe even get crazy and move there?
The moment I can find a way to see if I can start thinking about selling my house, because I'm not really too familiar with the process, so.
Oh, so the moment you think that you can make it work financially, is that what you're saying?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. Well, let me ask you something. I mean, if you knew for certain that by working with me, not only you'd be able to sell your house, but you'd get more money in your pocket than you could get any other way possible and head to Canada, would you sell it?
I mean, yeah. But honestly, like I've been trying to figure out different ways, and I've actually met with different real estate agents like recently, and I just don't see how they can help me out. Like I don't see eye to eye with them, in other words. So
Yep. I totally hear that. Usually, can I tell you? Usually, most people before they meet with me, they actually met with other agents. Were you already aware of that?
Okay. Yeah.
So let me ask you something. How familiar are you with something called the complete market analysis?
0% familiar.
Okay. Well, why don't I do this? I don't mind, because what it is, it's a bird's eye view of everything involved in being able to make a move and sell a house, and it actually keeps sellers like you from losing 15, 20 grand out of their pocket. I mean, it sounds like you don't want to leave any money behind. You should be taking to Canada, right?
No, absolutely.
Awesome. So why don't I do this, Michael? I don't mind. Why don't I just swing over, and while I'm there, I'll take a look at your house. You can meet me as well, right? At least you can meet me. And while I'm there, I'll share with you the complete market analysis, and that way you know exactly how not to lose a small fortune in your move. Would something like that be of value for you?
Yeah, it actually sounds inspiring.
Awesome, man. Great. Do normally early afternoons work, or typically later afternoons better for you?
I like later afternoons. I'm a 9 to 5 guy.
9 to 5 guy? Awesome. So I could either swing by Monday around, 5:30, or is Wednesday maybe just a little bit better for you?
Can you do Saturdays?
You know what? I actually have. When are you thinking Saturdays?
I was thinking Saturday, maybe like around 4 p.m.
4 in the afternoon? Okay. You know what?
Yeah.
I'd love to be able to, and that sounds like a great time. And unfortunately, I just won't be available this Saturday. Would another day work, like maybe Tuesday at 5:30 or Thursday? If you know what, I can even do Thursday if that's a little bit better for you.
Okay, how about this? Let's do Thursday of next week. We'll do Thursday of next week because I'm free next Thursday.
Awesome, man. I've got you Thursday the 25th at 5:30. What's your best email address, and I'll send you confirmation for that meeting.
Yeah, ready when you are. Ready?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, it's 9622 at hotmail.com.
Awesome, man. I'll send you a confirmation email, and I'm excited to meet with you. Thanks, Michael.
Okay, me too. Thank you. I hope you can solve my problems.
So, Michael, I appreciate you throwing me that curveball at the end on Saturday. There's no way in hell, just so everyone knows, I am not meeting on a Saturday. You guys can meet on a Saturday.
Yeah, that's why I did it.
I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. But I'm to that point in my business where that's my choice, right? Doesn't mean don't do it if you're open to it as part of your business plan. So what did you observe during that call real quick?
That it was very approachable. The conversation was approachable. You didn't sound like some guy that's just trying to talk to me for your best interest. You know, you're trying to solve a problem, and I appreciate that. It makes me sound it's an easier approach to get through the door. In other words.
Awesome, man. We appreciate you being on this call, Michael. We appreciate you playing full out today. Thank you. Anything I can do to help you out?
Yes, actually, you can. There is. If there's any way that me and you can speak for like 10 minutes whenever this call is over, just really quick, because I'm a fearless agent as well, and I just got Mojo yesterday, and I just want to ask you a quick question just to help me set up. Just 10 minutes, if anything, if you have.
Yeah, if you could do me a favor, and are you on my Facebook page?
I'm not on your Facebook page right now because you told me to turn it off, but
No. But are you friends on my Facebook? Send me a message. I've got to go into a meeting right after this call, but let's catch up later today, and I will definitely do that for you. Okay?
Okay. So I'm going to send you a message on Facebook. Got it?
Yep. Just send me a message, and we'll connect later today. Thanks, man.
Okay. Yeah, you got it.
Awesome. Thanks. So also, if you guys can see below on the event page, I've got some links on there. One is there you can go get a free webinar from Fearless Agent, and so you can learn a little bit. It's a free webinar about coaching and training. The other thing is there's a couple of free Facebook groups on there. One of them is where we do a lot of free information for just things like this. And then also you got my personal Facebook page. You can go add me as a friend on Facebook and follow me and just ask me questions on there as well. And then there's a free little video, 4 secrets that doubled my business in less than a year. I'm going to actually unmute Melissa Rhodes. Are you there, Melissa?
Oh, my God. Yes, I'm
here.
Hear me?
Did I put you on the spot? You sound like you perfect. You raised your hand, and you got comfortable.
I did raise my hand.
Congratulate yourself. Yeah, you did it. Okay, so, hey, Melissa, have you cold called before, or is this kind of new to you?
I have. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been doing it for about a year.
Okay, so sometimes you'll find someone that says, yeah, we're thinking of moving our house, and you'll go to set the appointment. No matter what, they just won't set appointments with you at that time. Have you ever had that experience?
Yeah, just this morning.
Okay. So just this morning. So what I want to share with you now, and I want you to help me out with this to demonstrate for everyone, what do you do in that situation? Right? So I want you to pretend we're going through, and I've tried to get an appointment with you. I always try 3 times. There's magic in asking 3 times for the meeting. But after that, you kind of have to back off. You don't want to be too aggressive, right? So pretend that you told me no, and we just can't meet right now. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so
we're
you
just
know what?
not
Hey,
ready
I just can't.
to...
Go ahead.
Yeah, we're just not ready. I'm fixing up the house, and I'm just not ready to show it.
Oh, I totally understand. You guys just aren't at that point yet. No, I get it. So when would you like me to follow back up with you?
Maybe like 6 months to a year. I'm working on a few projects around the house, and my kids just started school, so.
Yeah, I get you.
Now it's just
so let's do this. I'll follow up with you in 6 months. And what's your best email address? That way I'll send you my contact card. And if you have any questions before the next 6 months, you can call me.
Okay, that sounds good.
What's that best email?
My email is Melissa.
Okay.
At Stormberg, STORMBERG group.
Okay. Awesome. .com?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. I'll send you my contact information right now, and then call me if you need anything. Otherwise, we'll talk in 6 months or so. Okay?
Okay, great. Thank you.
Awesome. So here's what I want you to do is when they tell you 6 months, Melissa, you're going to set in your Mojo dialer a follow-up call for 3 months. So whatever they tell you, cut it in half. Okay, so if they tell you 12 months, call them in 6 months. If they call you 3 months, call them in a month and a half. If they call you in 2 weeks, call them in a week. Okay, and it's really important that you get their email because in just a little bit, I'm going to share with you guys exactly why that's important. Okay, and you should, and I didn't do it right now, but you should confirm their mailing address because you want their mailing address as well. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Cool. Awesome. Did you learn something?
I did.
Cool. Anything else I can do to help you out?
I think I'm good. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you so much, and we appreciate you being on this call today. Thanks, Melissa.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool. So I'm going to share with you one other portion now. So write that down. I just shared that with Melissa. Whenever they tell you to call them back, cut it in half. Cut it in half. Okay, guys? And when you get their email address, and we've got templates with Fearless Agents, so you can get a hold of us if, you're a student, and we can help you get this. But when they do give you your email address, you have your template already preloaded in the Mojo email system, and then all you have to do is put their email in, so you've got it saved in their contact card, pull up the template, click send, and it sends it out automatically. Okay, and then there's a button up top of the contact card. You can just sync it right into your MailChimp. You're going to want to put it into MailChimp, and I'll explain more on that in just a second. Okay, so next thing, I'm gonna actually pull up David from Coral Springs, Florida. David, can you hear me? David, are you there?
Hello?
I don't hear a response. Oh, there you are. David, it's Colton. Can you hear me?
Hey, Colton, how are you?
I love life, man. So I need your help because I know you volunteered. Have you ever been cold calling and you ask a question and they actually say, no, we're not thinking about moving? You ever heard that one?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay, so we're going to start the role play from the start, and you're going to tell me, no, I don't, I'm not thinking of selling. Okay?
All right.
So ring.
Hello.
Hi, is David there?
This is him.
David, hi, it's Colton Lindsay with Fearless Agent Real Estate. I was just calling to see if you might be thinking of selling your house.
I actually am not thinking about selling my house.
All right, not thinking about it? Do you have any plans of moving ever?
Maybe in the future, but I haven't really put any thought into that, no.
Okay, so maybe in the future, but you don't have any plans right now. When would something crazy like you would even consider it?
Maybe when the news starts talking about the bubble again.
I hear you when the news starts talking about the bubble again. Well, I appreciate you, David. I've got to get to another call, but listen, David, I have a networking program where I stay in touch with owners just like you about the market and the bubble and things like that about 4 times a year by phone. Would you mind if I stay in touch with you? And if you ever have a real estate question, you have a professional that can advise you?
Yeah, I don't see a problem with that. If it gets annoying, I'll let you know.
Fair enough. Hey, you know what? My wife lets me know every day that I'm annoying, so that's perfect. So what's your best email address, and I'll shoot you my contact card, so if you ever have a question, you can just call me.
Sure, you can send that to david@miamireb.com.
Awesome, man. I'll shoot you my contact card, and I appreciate you, David. By the way, if you hear of anyone maybe even thinking of buying a house or selling a house, will you have them call me, please?
Yeah, why not? That's fair enough.
Hey, I appreciate you. I hope you have a great rest of the week, okay?
All right, Colton, all the best.
Hey, thanks. Awesome. Thanks for helping out. Did that help you guys a little bit, to help you, David, understand how to, now you put them into your database? You see what I'm doing here? I'm using these calls to build a database to call in the future. Did you see that?
Yeah, actually, I like that a lot because, just because they're not interested in selling doesn't mean you can't, expand on the phone call. It only takes maybe another minute.
Yeah. And you know what I do, David? So, okay, obviously I want to identify if they want to meet with me now or if they're thinking about it in the near future to do more of a hotter follow-up with them. I'm gonna mark those follow-ups. But for this type of person that's not really hot at all, I'm going to put them into a list in Mojo. I call it People Farm. And what I'm going to do is every 90 days, I'm going to call them. I'm just going to ask for referrals. And so they're going to start getting my marketing campaign through postcards and my email system. In fact, my follow-up system is about 84 touches throughout the year for these people. And they might never ever buy or sell with me, but they're going to maybe send me some referrals because I'm going to become an expert for them. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, man. Building a network.
Awesome, guys. Well, perfect. We appreciate you being on the call. Okay? Thank you.
Thanks, Colton. Appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks. We'll see ya. So, real quick, I'm going to just open it up to everyone. Did everyone have some fun and did everyone learn something today? Say yes. Perfect. So I'm going to lower all the hands, and just for a few minutes, we're going to have to schedule another call with Dave to go through some more stuff on this. But raise your hands. I'm going to lower them. Raise your hands if you have a question. I want to take some questions and some ahas. So start raising your hands up. Adam Jackson, you've got a question. Go ahead.
I do. Hey, thanks again, Colton. I appreciate your time today. So your side of the scripts that I just heard, I absolutely love it. I had two questions. One, obviously it's a pretty simple script, but just for my record keeping, is there somewhere where we can access it to print it or anything like that, along with any other scripts you may have?
You know what? Are you a Fearless Agent student or are you not a Fearless Agent student?
I am not. I'm just a Mojo dialer.
Okay, so get a hold of Bob Leffler, and he can help you out with that. Also connect with me on Facebook, and I'm not sure if Mojo is going to put this recording out or not. I think they will, but if they don't, I'll try and figure out how to get it available for you guys. What I recommend is that you guys go through and listen to it again later, and transcribe it and write it out. Okay, that's how I've done it. For the last 10 years, I listened to it, and then I wrote it out. You're going to learn it much quicker that way than just having the printed script given to you. Okay?
Perfect. Awesome. That actually answers both questions, so I'm good.
Cool, man. Hey, thank you. Chris, go ahead, man.
I have a question. I want to know if I prospect every day consistently from 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock using Mojo, can I comfortably put aside door knocking for good? Can I make cold calling my number one? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I would. Here's why. I spent 2 years knocking doors in Brazil, and I freaking hate it. I don't knock doors, and I'm being extremely successful. Here's what you got to understand, though, Chris. The first year is going to be a grind. You're going to have to really push hard that first year because you're going to be doing the work, and it might seem like you're not going to be getting the results because you're planting the garden for the next year. Remember, I told you my strawberries, they grew better and better every year. It's the same thing with cold calling. Every year it gets better and better. So at first year, my strawberries, they didn't produce many strawberries. But the second year and the third year, I mean, I'm giving strawberries away now because I got so many. You see that? That's how it's the same thing in this business. Okay? And in fact, that's how I am in my business now. I've got so many people coming to me now. I'm handing out deals as we're building our team. And actually, Bob and I are working on right now because I still coach with him. He's helping me to figure out how do we take my business from $500,000 a year to $1 million a year and actually allow me to step out of being in the production mode. So that's where you can take this type of business. And it doesn't happen overnight. I've been working on it 11 years. So you can do it probably quicker than that, but I've been working on it that long.
Well, of course, just a quick follow-up. I'm having a hard time deciding between a triple dialer and a single dialer because with a triple dialer, I heard it creates a pause, an awkward pause, and clients don't like that. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, so here's what I am, and I use a triple dialer. It's a great question for everyone listening. Mojo offers a single or a triple dialer. I highly recommend the triple dialer, but you got to understand when to use it, not to use it. So if I'm calling my sphere of influence, my past clients, I'm actually manually dialing them through my follow-ups. On my follow-up page, I'm not triple dialing those people or double dialing them, okay? You can single dial them, but I prefer just to push the manual button. If you're calling FSBOs and expireds, I recommend you single, maybe at the most double dial them. Okay, because what happens is you're going to be calling one person and someone else is going to answer, and then you're going to call them back and they get angry. And the more hang-ups or the callbacks you have, it actually doesn't help your cause with what you're trying to do. The only way I actually recommend triple dialing is when you're actually cold calling. People that you've never spoke with or you never met with before, that you're going to go past them and forget about it. Okay? So that's what I would recommend how to do it, is triple dial when you're cold calling, maybe double dial, but single or double dial on FSBOs and Expires, and on your databases, single dial them. Single dial them.
Got it.
Okay?
Thank you so much.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Awesome. So we've got from Columbia, South Carolina, 3927. Who do we got on the phone?
It's Richard again, bro.
Hey, Richard, what's up, man? What's the question?
Hey, doing good. Hey, man, this has been so helpful. Got a question. Okay, so cold calling, that's what I've been focusing on since I moved to Columbia. Do you have this is how many contacts you should have? Like, Bold is all about 20 contacts. What is your suggestion on contacts a day?
So it's a great question. My team standard is 40 contacts a day or more. So 40 contacts or more a day. And in fact, if you don't have deals, there's no reason why if you don't have appointments, there's no reason you shouldn't be hitting 50, 60 contacts a day.
That's awesome.
Does that help you out?
60 contacts? Yeah, very much so. And one other question on your script when you're cold calling. I have been using like just sold in the neighborhood for a reason to call them. Do you feel like that's a waste of time?
Yeah, I don't do it. I would do it if it was good, and I use this script right here that I just shared with you.
Yeah, I absolutely love this script. Absolutely love it. And what do you use when you say, would this interest you in 3, 6, 9 months when you're on the main cold call script? What do you use right after that in between? How familiar with a market analyst are you?
Yeah, so if they ask me if they tell me when the time is, I say, how familiar are you with something called a complete real estate market analysis or something like, I make something kind of like that up. So I call it a complete real estate market analysis. And they usually say I'm not, or I'm just familiar with a regular market analysis. And you act kind of surprised, wow, you're kidding me. What it is, it's a bird's eye view. It's an overlook of all the things involved in the real estate transaction, from timing to pricing strategy to you keeping yourself. And this is important. Most of you guys on this call are going to say that helps you put more money in your pocket, but you don't want to talk benefits. You want to talk fear of loss that keep you from losing $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. Okay? You talk about keeping them from losing money. People act better when they know they're going to lose something versus when they're going to gain something, for the most part. Okay?
Yes, definitely.
Did that help you out?
Without a doubt. Yes, thank you so much, Colton. Appreciate it.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate you being on the call. Cool. So we've got one from Montreal, Quebec, 6888. You're on. How can I help you?
Hey, how's it going, Colton?
Great. Who are we talking with?
Salvatore from Montreal, Quebec. This is where the cold is at in the winter.
Hey, thank you for being on this call today, Mojo and Fearless Agent. Definitely appreciate you. How can we help you?
So I'm a Mojo dialer. I've been with Mojo 2-3 years, but I'm really not consistent with it. I do get results. My question to you is, you kind of went to the script. I love that. It's a lot of stuff I've known and I've learned and I hear and repeat. I know consistency is the issue. I'm more what I'm trying to figure out is the actual system of when you cold call people and then you're on the call and you might hang up the call with the mouse, and before you take the next call, it's how to categorize them in another list for a future follow-up. What I'm looking for is a template that will kind of say, okay, you need a little group called the 45 days. You need a group called 6 months. You need a group called past clients. So that's really what I'm kind of trying to get into, which direction, how to set that up.
Yep. Yep, and there's no right or wrong answer with that. But how I do it is I do it all in list. I don't use the groups very often. I use the list. So I use my list as what we call the PPP section for Fearless Agent. Number 1 is my past clients. Number 2 is my pals, people that I'm going to get referrals from. And number 3 is prospects or people farm. Okay, it's prospects or people farm. And so I put them into that list, and then from that I subcategorize that list. And you're going to have to go through Mojo's web videos. They show you how to subcategorize lists. And so I subcategorize that is 6 months or less, 12 months or less, or beyond 12 months. And then that way I can auto-dial those, if I need to, I can auto-dial those sub-lists inside of the list. Does that make sense?
Total sense. I understand what you mean. Yeah, no, you got me.
Awesome.
I follow. I never worked with the list. I usually work with the group, kind of, you know.
Awesome. And there's another thing that I do when I go to pick in my people farm, either if it's the main people farm or if it's the sub list. When I pick the dialer, you can put some advanced settings, and I select it so that I haven't dialed them in the last 30 days and that I haven't contacted them in the last 90 days. I don't want to be calling over and over again a couple times a month, or the people that I've already spoken with or that I've already dialed. I don't want to bug them. So I set that setting, and that's really important to set that setting, either 30 days for not called, not dialed, and 90 days for not contacted. Sometimes I'll do not 60 days not contacted, but usually it's not 90 days. Did that make sense for you?
Lots of sense. I use that setting as well with the way I'm doing it. Last question. You talk about emailing people through your campaign. I'm just curious, what platform are you using to send out those emails, and how do you get them in there?
Great. Yeah, so actually I use MailChimp. It's a free platform. You can go set up a free subscriber. As long as you have 2,000 subscribers or less, I set that up. And actually what I do is I have several different things, but let me tell you the easiest way is I do what's called Motivation Monday. So every Monday they get an email from me that says something like, hey, you become what you think about most of the time. Or, you know what, it's something positive, right? I'm skipping for what they are right now, but I have my assistant. You can do it yourself. I have him go through and search out for the next 52 weeks, 52 different motivational quotes that send out to that list automatically. And so for Mojo, when I get their email, I automatically just from MailChimp, you can sync it up. There's videos on Mojo how to do it. I sync up their email from Mojo into MailChimp, so those emails are automatically going out. That's 52 follow-up touches with my branding in it every single week. And the feedback is awesome. People love that I'm creating value for them. I've never had someone say, I don't like that positive email you just sent to me. And if they do, then you probably don't want them in your database anyways. If they're negative, you don't want them in your database.
Well, great. I'm really happy you answered that question. I had no idea how to do it. Now I know. I heard of MailChimp, so we're going to go in that direction.
Awesome, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for being on the call.
Bye.
All right, guys. I have gone 9 minutes over, but it's because I love you guys and I wanted to answer a bunch of your questions. Here's what you guys can do now. You guys, there's some links below. Number one is a free Fearless Agent test drive. That is a 45-minute webinar. You guys can click on that, watch it absolutely free. Check out Fearless Agent and see if you guys have any questions. Also below that, you can connect to Fearless Agent Facebook group. That's a free Facebook group where there's tons of questions and live videos always going on in there to help with these types of things and other things to build your real estate business. And Fearless Agent is just prospecting is just a piece of Fearless Agent. It's a lot more than that as well. Okay. There's also a link that you can go to my personal Facebook page, add me as a friend so we can hook up there. And then there's another short video about maybe 5 or 10 minutes long. You click on 4 secrets that allowed me to double my business in less than a year. And check out mojosales.com. This is why I'm on this call. I started with them, using them. I paid for that product starting in 2010, and I would never look back going without it. My whole team uses it. Our whole CRM is used in it. It is the best product on the marketplace, and I can tell you the best of the best are using this CRM and this auto dialer. Hands down, nothing compares to it. Thanks for watching or listening, guys. I appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to you soon. We'll see ya.
The conference is now completed. Goodbye.